Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So before we dive into today's episode, which is dissecting how Andy Cohen keeps fumbling, I did a poll saying, should he be fired? It was split down the middle, 50-50, but I kind of think it's time for Andy to take a bow. We're going to get into it. We're also going to talk about Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky PR stunts. Is their whole marriage on the rocks? Doing stuff on social media, is that real or not? And then we're going to get into Ariana versus Raquel and more. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's go. So first up, let's talk about how on Watch What Happens Live, Andy Cohen was addressing whether or not Kyle Richards got the ultimatum about you will be fired unless you talk about your relationship with Morgan Wade on the upcoming season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to go through the article, and then I also have the clip from Watch What Happens Live. He was being asked the question by Andrea Cumming, who is an amazing journalist for Dateline on NBC. And this is what happens when a real journalist interviews a non-wannabe journalist. Like Andy Cohen was completely out of his depth. He kind of looked like an idiot, to be honest, not in like a mean, nasty way, but in a way of like, he didn't know what the hell he was talking about, but he accidentally exposes how fake Beverly Hills is. And also another thing as well. But let's dive in. And I do have the clip. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Andy Cohen was questioned about Kyle Richards' potential Real Housewives of Beverly Hills return and rumors of an ultimatum on Thursday night's Watch What Happens Live. As Summer House's Danielle and Dateline's Andrea Canning, I love Andrea Canning, by the way. Anyway, let's keep going. Join Andy in the Bravo clubhouse. Andrea asked him whether it was true or false that Kyle would not be asked back to the show if she didn't agree to highlight her alleged romance with country singer Morgan Wade. Well, I think that Kyle is always invited back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I think that the supposition is that she opens up about her life, Andy explained on the May 2nd episode of Watch What Happens Live. Then, when Andrea pointed out that Kyle had been wishy-washy about Morgan in season 13, Andy seemingly defended Kyle, saying she's told her story. Still, Andrea pressed on, suggesting there was more to the story and asking if Kyle and Morgan were in a sexual relationship or not. Well, we will re-ask Kyle at the beginning of the season, Andy vowed. Meanwhile, on the May 1st episode of the Sirius XM Andy Cohen's Live, Andy reacted to Vanderpump Rules being put on pause ahead of season 14. As y'all know, I don't produce Vanderpump Rules. We used to do this all the time with the housewives. We would say, you know what, let's put cameras down for 4 or 5 months and come back to them when they have lived life. Things will be different, he shared. Okay, this is the thing. Andy Cohen may be a, quote, producer on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but in name only, not in actual function by any means. That's why he did not know what the hell Andrea Canning was talking about when she talked about the fact that there has been a widespread report or blind item, either way, that Kyle would be fired if she wouldn't be honest about her relationship with Morgan. If you are truly an executive producer on the show, you know those things. He clearly had no idea what she was talking about, and like you should know those things. However, Andy also does not actually have any power to hire or fire housewives. So he also didn't know that conversation allegedly happened with the executives because he's not in those conversations anymore because he no longer has the power to say Kyle can stay or Kyle can go. He doesn't have that power anymore. Andy Cohen is pretty much a figurehead without any true power. And this is what happens when you have a journalist who is up on everything. She knows how to ask the right questions with a non-journalist wannabe Andy Cohen. Like, he's not a journalist. And honestly, I think Andrea should be hosting these reunions. She had more information and insight than Andy ever has had. So let's watch the clip, and then I'm going to dive into something else that kind of sparked my mind, okay? So let's watch.
Bravo.
Okay, let's break that down. Now, when Andrea gave him that little smile at the end, it was pretty much like, oh, you're an idiot and you don't actually know what's going on and you don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to tell you what really happened here in my candy cane conspiracy theory opinion. Number one, Andy Cohen accidentally exposed that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is fake. And I'll tell you why I think that. When she said, there's this rumor that Kyle won't be asked back, his response was, well, Kyle Richards is always asked back. How is it that a housewife will have a standing invitation if the show is supposed to be based on performance, storyline, relevancy, audience likability? How is it that, and the thing is, I do think that's true. I think that no matter what, Kyle kind of has this standing invitation. So the show is fake then. Because shouldn't it be after every single season, each housewife should be evaluated about what they bring to the show, right? And then it also, on top of that, means that Kyle is a producer plant. Because he had no hesitancy, like Kyle's always asked back, blah, 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 blah. Well, if she's always asked back, then she's not a true housewife. She's a producer plant. Like, would he have said that about any other housewife? I don't know. You could also tell that he really had no idea what was going on. Again, I think it's time for Andy Cohen to bow out. He has no idea what's going on with the housewives. He has zero diplomacy when answering tough questions, and he's basically exposing that the franchise has producer plans and it's fake. I mean, we always laugh and call Kyle a quote producer, but Andy Cohen's basically confirming it. What executive producer would say that a housewife is always asked back? You see what I'm saying? He has no idea what he's talking about. And I think Andrea Canning in the moment realized, oh, Andy Cohen really doesn't know what he's talking about. He's getting defensive. And that's why she said in that moment, oh, by the way, like, no, I love Kyle. She's my favorite. So this isn't hostile, because she's a very intelligent woman. She is a seasoned journalist, and she understood in that moment that he was out of his depth. And when someone is out of their depth, they will become defensive and they will take you having a conversation or a dialogue or questioning as an argument because they are on the defense. And that's why she said, oh, no, I'm not being hostile. I really love Kyle. Okay, cool, blah, blah, blah. And she had a little smile because she realizes that takes emotional intelligence, and that also takes just actual intelligence in general to understand when people are out of their depth, they usually will fight or argue or be defensive because they feel like they're backed in a corner because they actually don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I really think this just shows that Andy, it's time for him to leave. He can still do Watch What Happens Live, whatever, but having any type of figurehead over the housewives, that's a wrap. Any person who claims to be an executive producer on these shows should know what is being said out there. If he was at all tuned in and tapped on, he would have known that there has been a huge backlash over whether or not Kyle and Morgan are in a sexual relationship. There's been a huge backlash that this is just a PR relationship, that there's been a widespread article in Blind Items that she's going to be fired unless she tells the truth about Morgan. I personally could care less about her and Morgan. I want to know what's going on with her and Mauricio. I want to know what's going on with her and Dorit. That's really what I want to know. Morgan to me is a red herring. Look over here so you don't look over here. I think it's time for Andy to go. That's just where I land on it. He's exposing that the show is fake. He's exposing that Kyle is a producer plant because he was not prepared for the question. And usually when people are not prepared for the question, they expose themselves. That's where I land on that. But I want to know what you guys think about that. What do you think about Andy kind of fumbling with Andrea Canning? I think Andrea should do the reunions. She seemed unbiased. She asked the real questions, and she knows actually what's going on in the world. And she's a woman, and I think it would be kind of nice to have a woman interview and question these other women about their lives. I think that would be pretty cool. But put it down below because I want to know what you guys think. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to our next story. Let's again talk about Andy fumbling. Okay, so now Andy Cohen is now addressing whether or not he is to blame for BravoCon being canceled. And then he'll talk a little bit about Sonia Morgan's townhouse, maybe. But I really want to get more into like his explanation about BravoCon. Now, my personal opinion on this, I think that Andy Cohen is a big factor in BravoCon being canceled, but not the only reason. I think the mounting lawsuits, the decrease in ratings of Bravo shows across the board, the toxicity of Bravo shows, the mass firings that is happening right now, and then also not just the lawsuits in general, but also like the reality reckoning, and then also Andy Cohen himself being sued. So do I think it's just Andy? No. But do I think Andy is a part of it? Yes. I do think they're also trying to figure out what to do with Andy. I do believe the reports that some sort of demotion is being negotiated. I think they're going to let him keep Watch What Happens Live, but they're going to phase him out of the Housewives. And so I kind of think that is what's going on here. But let's see what he has to say. So this is according to Reality Blurb. Andy Cohen addressed a rumor that he's to blame for BravoCon's cancellation amid his mounting legal issues and shared what actually happened. He also reacted to Sonja Morgan putting her famous Upper East Side townhouse on the market. Last month, the network announced that the conference will not exist this year. Instead, it will move to a later date in 2025. So basically, BravoCon is being put on pause. I read over the weekend that In Touch is blaming me for BravoCon getting canceled, said Andy on his Sirius XM's Andy Cohen radio live show. I mean, who did I piss off at In Touch? They're really on me. This is the most I've thought about In Touch in a very long time. Because don't forget, In Touch was also the magazine that broke the report or allegation that Andy Cohen was negotiating his exit from Bravo. Andy said the outlet's quote theory that the conference was canceled because Andy is going through it. I think the decision to pause the conference was made long ago because with the availabilities for the location that we want it to be, it would have been that we would have had to have it in like, I think September of this year or something like that, Andy said. It felt way too soon, so I'm glad. Last year after BravoCon, I remember, and I don't choose when BravoCon is, but I remember saying to the powers to be at Bravo, I hope we're skipping a year, he revealed. All right, Andy, I'm going to stop you right there. Stop lying. And again, this is just my opinion. Andy Cohen, you're lying through your teeth. I highly doubt that after BravoCon last year, which was in October, you said to the powers to be at Bravo, I hope we skip a year. Why? That makes no sense. Number one, you would not get a paycheck because as a Bravo talent executive, you're being paid to be at BravoCon. And number two, the network would be missing out on a paycheck because as we know, the tickets to BravoCon are hundreds of dollars out of control. And then once you get there, you have to pay for food, you have to pay for drinks, you have to pay for parking, you have to pay for hotels, you have to pay for transportation. You have to pay for merchandise, certain, VIP upgrades. It is a money-making machine. It's a conference. Conferences are meant to make money. So the fact that you're saying after BravoCon last year, which seemed to be fine, you went to the powers that be and said you hope you skip a year? Why? Make it make sense. It doesn't. You're lying, in my personal opinion. Again, I'm just saying how I feel. I'm giving my opinion on what he is saying. To me, I'm calling BS. It makes zero sense. I need a better reason why Andy Cohen would say to the powers to be at Bravo, please skip a year so I don't get paid for BravoCon. Please skip a year so the network doesn't get paid for BravoCon. Because that's where the money is going. Doesn't make any sense. Also talking about, oh, we couldn't get the venue we wanted. NBC Universal can find a venue if they want to find a venue. Stop with the nonsense. Knock it off. None of that makes any sense. You're going to tell me that NBC Universal is skipping BravoCon because they couldn't find a venue? Of all the venues in the world? Knock it off, Andy Cohen. Knock it off. Addressing the report on Sonja's townhouse, Andy reacted to fans suggesting that Bravo buy it and make it a museum. Sonja's townhouse has gone on the market. I've gotten so many queries from people wanting Bravo to buy it and turn it into a museum. I think that's a real fixer-upper, he said. Andy continued, I think maybe it's just better left, but listen, if she gets 10 million for it, which is what it's on the market for, even if she gets 8 or 9, she can get a nice place for that. She'll be set. According to reports, Sonja's townhouse is currently on the market for $7.5 million, and it is set to go up for auction from May 15th to May 29th. Starting bids are expected to be in the range of $1.75 million to $3.75 million. Oh, Sonja. Now, it's never good when a house has to go up for auction, but Sonja has been going through it. You know, she talked about on Ultimate Girls Trip how she was couch surfing when, you know, she was renting out the townhouse for money. I don't know what happened. Sonja had a lot go wrong, and I don't know. Just ladies, get your prenup nice and tight and right so that if you happen to marry a millionaire, you get paid for life. Call Sutton, okay? Anybody going getting a prenup? Call Sutton, okay? Because Sutton gets $350K per month after tax. And Sonja, who is married to Morgan of JP Morgan, has to sell her townhouse and has to couch surf to make ends meet. Blasphemy. Sonja should be living like a queen right now. She should have a castle. She should have it all. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have all your affairs in order. And also, a little bit of a tangent here. Watch out who you call a quote, a friend. Watch out for these fake, phony friends who will stab you in the back because they want to take your place. I'll tell you what I mean. This is what happened to Sonja. Sonja was married to, I forgot his name, his first name, but Morgan, you know, JP Morgan of Morgan Stanley, you know, money, generational money for years on years on years. Her so-called friend was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, Sonja, like you should go. It was like their friends were going to some party in like France or Saint Tropez, something like that. Her husband was home. I don't think he was feeling good. And the friend was like, yeah, Sonja, you should go. I'll watch him. You should go party. So Sonja leaves. She parties. She dips it and she does it. And when she gets back, her husband is like, I am divorcing you. You need to get out. And I am now with your best friend who told you to leave. And then after Sonja divorced her husband divorced her, he married, and I believe is still married to, I'm not sure who's still alive or not, so I want to be careful with that. But is still married to, I believe, the friend of Sonja's. So be careful with these fake and phony friends who be playing in your face and they're plotting your demise. Because if Sonja had played her cards a little bit differently, she would have been in a much, much better place. Then we love Sonja. She's fun and she's free, but you know what I'm saying? Like, hello. And that friend is the one who is now cashing those Morgan checks. And Sonja is out here, you know, dipping it and doing it with Luann, getting these little Bravo checks, selling townhouses when she could have been having Morgan estates. And it would be different if I think that Sonja was really happy, but it doesn't seem like she was really that she's really happy. You know, we've seen her on the show and the drinking and the pills and the crying and the Morgan, that's my family and blah, 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 and all that stuff. So watch out who you call your friend and stick beside your man, okay? If your husband is homesick, don't go out to Saint Tropez, dipping it and doing it with your friends, and then come home and find out your whole life is turned upside down. So be careful, guys. That's a PSA. But Barbara says Sonja was cheating on her husband, but that's what I'm saying though. Like whether she was cheating on him or not, and I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that her cheating on her husband is right or not. The simple fact that your friend is the one who tells your husband what's going on, tells you to leave, and then when you come home, he's marrying her and divorcing you. Sonja cheating or not, watch who your friends are. because I wonder how he found out she was cheating. You see what I'm saying? We got to be, I'm just saying, be careful. Just be really, really careful. So yeah, and that was a good note, Barbara. So thank you, sweetheart, for saying that. So yeah, you guys, let me know what you guys think about, in my opinion, Andy, again, just be quiet, Andy. Be quiet. Like, we all know things are not good with you and Bravo. We all know things are not good with you and the housewife situation. Like, we all know things are not good with the legal situation. We know things aren't good if NBC Universal is going to stop their bag for a year to clean house. They're not going to skip BravoCon, which for them is a revenue stream, because remember, they're not doing BravoCon for the fans. They're doing BravoCon because the fans are paying for tickets. It'd be one thing if BravoCon was free and we all just went and had a great time and it was free and this was something that they were doing to give back to us, back to the community, back to the audience, back to us who support them. That would be one thing. If BravoCon was free and they said, everyone come and have fun, meet your faves, take photos, all of this stuff, and they skipped it a year, okay, cool. But it's a corporation, and the sole purpose of any corporation, they will give you stupid little like nuggets, like, we believe in innovation, we want to give back to sustainability, we care about storytelling. BS. The sole purpose of any corporation is to make money. That's why it's an industry. That's why it's incorporated. Their sole purpose is to make money. So if a corporation, NBC Universal, is choosing not to make money off of a guaranteed revenue stream, it's because something bigger is going on that they need to clean up. You see? So, yeah, I'm just saying, Andy, your days might be numbered. I personally think it is time for Andy to bow out. He can keep Watch What Happens Live, but him being the daddy of the housewives and of Bravo, to be honest, those days are long gone for me. But let me know what you guys think. Put it down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Okay. Now let's move on to our next story. Let's talk about let's see. Let's talk about separate lives. Kyle Richards and Mauricio, are they truly moving on? Or is this a PR stunt for season 14 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Or maybe even more importantly, is this a stunt for season 3 of Buying Beverly Hills? Because you really got to think about this. Not only is Kyle now out here doing stunts for ratings and subscribers, clicks, and views, but now that Mauricio has a show on Netflix, Buying Beverly Hills, which only got a bump in ratings for season 2 because of the Mauricio and Kyle split storyline. That was the main story. That was the hero story. That was the ratings and money-making story for season 2 of Buying Beverly Hills. So Mauricio and Kyle, they're not just doing stunts out here for the Beverly Hills franchise. They're now also doing stunts for his show. So we have to think about, are they out here doing this because this is their reality? Or are they out here doing this to keep us hooked and to keep them getting their TV series greenlit? Okay, so let's see. Now, this is according to Radar Online. All right, so it says, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Kyle Richards' estranged husband Mauricio Umansky moved out of their marital home and into a Hollywood bachelor pad as they continue to navigate life after splitting following 27 years together. Sources close to the situation revealed the 53-year-old real estate mogul recently purchased a condo in a new luxury building in West Hollywood. As insiders told Us Weekly that Mauricio's new condo was located in the same building where Matt Damon recently bought a unit. Matt Damon is married with kids. Why is he buying a bachelor pad? Matt Damon, what's going on with you? Why are you buying a bachelor pad? Updating your retail portfolio? Anyway. Real estate records obtained by Radar Online revealed Damon bought a condo for $8.6 million. The new development is listed as the tallest residential structure in WeHo, according to a report. Units include panoramic views of the Hollywood Hills. Amenities in the new building include a 24-hour concierge, gym, pool, spa, and dining area. The building has 2 penthouses that were offered as a $100 million package, according to The Real Deal. At the moment, Kyle is living at their 7-bedroom, 8-bathroom, 10,000 square foot mansion located in Encino, California. Real estate records show the home has yet to be put up for sale. I don't think they're going to sell their house. I think they're going to keep the house. Kyle and Mauricio have been living separately for the last few months, and he's been staying there, a source told Us Weekly. They've both been traveling a lot recently, so it's working out where they don't stay under one roof. The source said Mauricio does stay at the Encino home when Kyle is out of town. As Radar Online previously reported, Kyle and Mauricio separated in July of 2023 after 27 years of marriage. Sources say the estranged couple has yet to talk about a potential divorce, but they are living their own lives. They both agreed it's too messy financially, as Kyle has a huge stake in the agency, a source said. For the past year, Kyle has been out and about with female country singer Morgan Wade. The duo have been flirty with each other and seem to enjoy leading into rumors they are a couple, but Kyle has been adamant that they are only friends. In October of 2023, Mauricio was spotted holding hands with his Dancing with the Star partner, Emma Slater. A couple of months later, the real estate mogul was seen in Aspen partying with singer Anita. When pressed for details about the breakup during the reunion, Kyle told Andy Cohen that it was nobody's effing business. With any marriage, there's issues that you have, they come up, yet you get busy, you've got kids. Okay. This is the thing. I remember when Mauricio said that, I believe it was on Buying Beverly Hills, I want to say, or in some type of interview, but he said that he was moving out to see if he would miss Kyle. So to me, that means Kyle is now the one that wants to reconcile. And now Mauricio has shifted into being the one who wants to continue the separation. Because if Kyle didn't want to reconcile, why would it matter if he missed her or not? It only matters if he misses her, if she wants to reconcile. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think that Kyle was going through some type of crisis. She broke with everything going on with her friend's death, with everything with, Mauricio's cheating, him not being there for her, yada, 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 yada. She went on the deep end with everything. They were fighting. They had resentment. It was not working. She wanted out. I don't think she really wanted out. I think she wanted his attention. I think she wanted him to fight for her. I think she wanted him to pursue her. I think she wanted him to prioritize her. And he was just like, I'm doing business as usual and you're annoying me. And I don't understand why you're so angry all the time. And I think once she started to heal, she realizes that she wanted her marriage back. But he had been pushed so far away. Now he's the one that's like, well, I can go out here and dip and do it. Well, I'm going to go here and dip and do it, which is why he's saying, well, now I want to see if I miss her. But again, do we think, him moving out and, getting the condo and her doing her thing and teasing about Morgan, is it real at this point? Or is it we need storylines for our 2 reality shows that we now have on Bravo and Netflix? So I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this is all performative or what is going on? And speaking of that, let's go to another story, which is, hold on, it's loading, which is Kyle removing Umansky from her Instagram bio and buying a KR initial necklace after Mauricio moved out. Okay, so as you guys know, we just talked about Mauricio moving out. Word on the street is that Kyle also removed Umansky from her bio, and then she bought a KR initial necklace rather than KU or KRU. Again, the reason why I'm thinking these are more PR stunts, sure, they're separated, but why do they keep posting stuff about their separation, about their potential divorce, about seeing other people, but yet they're not actually telling us what really happened in the marriage, other than just, the normal standard cheating allegations for decades. Like, that's kind of duh. We got that. I'm kind of like Kyle. If you want to say it's none of our effing business what happened in your marriage, even though you're on a reality TV show called The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, even though you've been on the show for 13 years, even though you built a $100 million empire based on pretending to share your real life with us, somehow it's none of our effing business. Why do you keep posting stuff like this? KR, because she did the same exact thing. Don't forget, she played the same exact game last year when she posted her new bag she had, and the only initials were KR. When usually when she gets things monogrammed, it's Kyle Umansky. And then everyone was like, oh, are they having problems? This was before it all came out. This was before the People article. And she was like hanging out with Morgan and she had the whole thing. But then also don't forget, again, playing in our faces. Remember right after the reunion, or right before they filmed this last season's reunion, Kyle called the paparazzi on herself because it was backward. And they came and she was wearing the jacket. And on the back of the jacket, it said Umansky on it. So again, they keep doing all of these PR stunts, posting your bag with the KR initials. After the reunion, when you and Morgan basically stopped pretending to be in a relationship, because this was the same exact time that Kyle was on Jeff Lewis being like, I don't really know her like that. She's just one person I call in the morning with all my other friends. Same exact time when Morgan wiped her entire Instagram clean. Same exact time Kyle was calling the paparazzi and she was wearing the Umansky jacket. They keep doing these little PR stunts. And I don't think it's a coincidence they're doing all these PR stunts. He's moving out to his condo, initials here, initials there, removing things from her bio, blah, 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 when filming for Beverly Hills is about to start. When I'm sure they're negotiating contracts for season 3 of Buying Beverly Hills. You know what I mean? So I do think Kyle and Mauricio are going through it. I do think their marital issues are real, but I also think that they are very much strategically playing into the whole, are they divorcing? Are they not divorcing? What's going on? Because it's like, why did it take her all this time to remove Umansky from her Instagram bio? She could have done that literally last year. She could have done that, anytime. All of a sudden, now she's doing it when they're about to start filming season 14. Now she's doing it when they're negotiating contracts. See, you got to really think about how they are playing and using social media and the media to stay relevant and to do all these little Easter eggs and all of this stuff in order to, at the end of the day, put themselves in a better position to negotiate higher contracts, higher pay, series being renewed. Because I'm not sure that Buying Beverly Hills, again, I'm not a Netflix executive at the moment, but season 1 of Buying Beverly Hills, there was a whole boycott. There was basically a change.org to boycott the show, because that was during the time when Mauricio was called out for laughing at Erica cussing out Garcelle's son. This was during all that dark time with Diana Jenkins and the bots and the racism and Erica and Rinna and all of that. There was a huge campaign to boycott the show. But then all of a sudden, everything happens with Kyle, everything happens with Morgan, everything happens with them splitting after 27 years. And then boom, Buying Beverly Hills has a huge season 2 where the entire storyline is about them splitting up. Now, I do think they really are going through it, but I don't think they're being honest about why. I don't think we know the real reason why Kyle and Mauricio are splitting up. I have my speculation on it. I have my theory on it, but I don't think that they have been honest about it. And Kyle saying it's none of our effing business. Kyle not being honest about what made her lose her trust. Mauricio playing dumb about him not understanding why his marriage is ending. Mauricio, you know what you did. You know why she's mad. What happened? What have they really told us? Nothing. And her cosplaying in a relationship with Morgan is boring as hell. I don't want to see that. I don't care. Stop with the tattoos. Stop with the weird, stalking her being on tour. Like, enough is enough. Either tell us what's going on or just like stop. That's kind of where I land on it. But I want to know what you guys think about this. What do you think about these PR stunts? Posting the KR initial necklace, removing Umansky from the Instagram bio, Mauricio publicly moving into this huge bachelor condo in West Hollywood, $9 million, all this stuff, or $10 million, however much it was. What do you guys think? Do you think that their relationship is really this broken? Or do you think some of this is performative for clicks and views and storyline? Okay, so let me know what you guys think, because I'm kind of looking side eye at all of this. And I said it before, I don't think they'll ever get divorced. Whether it's because they actually get back together or whether it's because it's cheaper to keep her or cheaper to keep them. Financially, I think that they will probably have some sort of internal understanding about the money. I don't think they'll get divorced because that could really mess up the agency if she does have that huge stake in it. So who knows, right? But I don't think they're going to get divorced. They may continue to live separate lives forever, or they may get back together, but I don't see them getting divorced. So stop playing in our faces, Kyle and Mauricio. Oh, and don't forget, Kyle and Mauricio and all of the girls were just seen together hanging out at a concert. And then a fan asked Morgan, "Oh, where's Kyle?" And Morgan was like, "Oh, I don't know. I haven't talked to her in a long time. I don't know where she is." So now all of a sudden, Kyle's removing Umansky from her Instagram, but yet she's hanging out with him and going to concerts. Sure, you can say co-parenting, but all her children are adults, except for Portia, who's like 16 and about to be off to college. All her other kids are in their 30s and late 20s. Farah is 35 or something like that, around there. Sophia and Alexia are well into their 20s. So co-parenting, sure. Or again, are you doing PR stunts? Morgan was like, "I haven't talked to her. I don't know where she's at." So, I mean, make it make sense. Anyway, as always, I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below and be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to our next story, which is, let's see what Jax Taylor is talking about. He is addressing cheating allegations. So word on the street is that Jax has been cheating with the publicist. So let's see if he admits to it, denies it, what's going on. So this is from Reality Blurb. It says, Jax Taylor addressed cheating rumors, his separation from Brittany Cartwright, and the potentially upcoming reunion of the Valley while attending the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday. Side note, it has been confirmed that there will not be a reunion of the Valley. Kristen Doty confirmed it. I'm kind of shocked. I don't know why they're not doing a reunion of the Valley. I think that's a missed opportunity, but they're not. Maybe they couldn't get negotiations or money or contracts, but there won't be a reunion. As Brittany described their current relationship as friendly, the Vanderpump Rules alum reacted to the claims of an affair with his publicist and shared what he's working on amid his and Brittany's split and expressed gratitude over his invite to Washington, D.C. "I'm overwhelmed. I'm just in awe that I'm here, that I was invited to something so extravagant. Like I said, I'm speechless. I'm honored to be here at Jax Entertainment tonight on April 27th. As Brittany also attended the event, Jax joked that when it came to whether the night out was a date night or a friendly outing, it depended on how much they had to drink tonight. We're just trying to figure things out. I've given you real time. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm definitely working on myself right now," he explained, admitting he's learned a lot watching himself on the Valley. "I need to communicate better. My delivery is really awful. I have a very short fuse. I need to learn to live in the moment, to be present. I need to learn patience. I got a lot of work to do," he shared. "But I always said no matter what, I'm going to put the good in, even if there's bad, because people are dealing with these things and I want to be able to share," he continued. As for claims of cheating, Jax denied any such thing. No, and everybody just assumes when there's a split, there's infidelity and there's cheating. Believe it or not, there are other reasons too. I know I don't have the best track record, but no, this was just a communication thing, he clarified. Then, speaking specifically of his publicist Lori, who Brittany recently unfollowed, Jax complained, "Oh, that not again." That's all just hearsay, and it's just a shame that that happened. But yeah, no, nothing happened there, he stated. Okay, side note number one. Jax, if you're not having an affair with a publicist, why did Brittany unfollow you and her? Why was there a picture of you two looking very cozy? Why were you and the publicist and the Toms in Canada hanging out? Why did your TikTok account that you just started, you were only following Lori, the publicist? And there was also a blind item rumor allegation that you and the publicist got it on in a bathroom, which we all know you love doing. Now, I'm not saying the rumor is true, but kind of when there's smoke, there's fire. Do I think Jax was cheating on Brittany? No. Do I think he has hooked up with people during their separation? Yes. And that's just my thoughts. When he says that there are reasons people split up other than infidelity, that is true. And I do think that Jax just, one, isn't attracted to Brittany anymore. That has nothing to do with whether or not she is attractive. People, you can be an attractive person, but attraction is something different, right? So, and I also think that he got tired of how much she was drinking, and I think their communication isn't good. I think his Cruz's regression, his speech regression, probably put a big strain on them. The whole finance question was a big strain on them, and I think Brittany kind of just being in denial about everything and not really wanting to have the real questions. And when he would ask a real question, she would just deflect and blame him and go off on a tangent about something bizarre. I think she's just in a denial about a lot of things. And I think that Brittany likes to just use the excuse of Jax isn't attracted to me and I don't feel good in my body, which I think is probably a factor, but I don't think it's the only factor. I don't even think it's the factor. I think it's a factor. So I don't know, but what do you guys think? Do you think that he was cheating on Brittany? Do you think that, you know, they should be separating or working on their marriage? Do you think that there's truth to the rumors that he's hooking up with the publicist? I don't know. I think there's something going on with the publicist. Why is Brittany unfollowing? Why is he being seen with her? Why are all these rumors? I don't know. It just seems to be a lot of stuff for nothing to be there, you know? So I want to know what you guys think and put it down below. Looking ahead, Jack said that he hopes he and Brittany will ultimately reconcile. The separation has definitely been good for me, but I do miss her. I miss her a lot. So I don't know. We'll see if she'll take me back, he shared. Jax is also hoping the Valley gets a reunion. In fact, he seemed confident that it will. It's all going to be a little crazy. And when I created the show, that wasn't my intention, he explained. At the same event, Brittany offered an update on where she and Jack stood. We're friendly, Brittany told People, adding that they were in the same hotel, different rooms. That's really all I want to say about him, she concluded. In March, while attending the Valley premiere, Brittany said that she really needed to step back from her marriage to Jack, suggesting to People that she had hit her breaking point. Something like clicked in my head, and I was like, I need to step away from this situation. This is not healthy. This is not a good situation. My son deserves better. I deserve better, she recalled, signaling to her and Jax's son, Cruz. I feel a little bit of relief, she added. I needed this space. I don't know. It might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm more on Jax's side with this, just from everything I've seen. I think it's a very easy way just to bash Jax. That's a pretty easy thing to do, but I don't think Brittany is really taking the accountability for the role that she has played in all of this. So I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about the Valley not getting a reunion? Are you watching it? What do you think about Brittany and Jax? Will they get back together? Will they won't? Do we care? So put it down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's see. All right, let's do one more story that I am calling Single White Female. Yikes. So, this is according to Reality Blurb. Apparently, Rachel is still out here being as cringy and stalkery as ever. So Raquel Levis's lawyers reacted to Ariana Madix's recent court filing in response to Raquel's revenge porn lawsuit. They slammed Ariana's, quote, fairy tale account of how she allegedly discovered the affair with Tom Sandoval on his phone, and they claim they have irrefutable evidence that Raquel's intimate videos were distributed. The Vanderpump Rules alum is suing Tom for allegedly recording her without her consent, and she's suing Ariana for allegedly distributing the intimate footage. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think that Rachel's lawsuit is bogus and frivolous, and I think that she just seems really bitter to me. I think that Rachel is bitter that Bravo did not beg her back and give her this huge paycheck, and she didn't come back to Vanderpump Rules as the new queen of the show, which is what I think she thought. Even after all the cheating exposed, I really think in Rachel's mind, she thought she was going to come back to the show, get a huge paycheck, and become dethrone Lala, dethrone Ariana, dethrone Katie, dethrone Sheena, and become the queen of Vanderpump Rules after everything happened. And when Bravo was basically like, nah, boo-boo, we're not paying you all that, but you can still come back and tell your side of the story if you want, but we're not going to up our offer, she got mad. Because that's what she said on Bethany's podcast, that they weren't willing to pay her what she wanted to be paid. She didn't say she left the show for her mental health. She did not say she left the show, because of A, B, C, D, E. She said she left the show because they were not willing to pay her what she wanted to be paid. So I guess she's trying to get that check now through these frivolous lawsuits. Now, with that being said, I do not condone by any means Tom recording her without her consent. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not. Obviously, I'm not saying that is right. But I think suing him and suing Ariana in the court of law, to me, it's very ridiculous. It's giving privilege. It's giving tone deaf. It's giving I will do anything to stay in the limelight. It's giving it makes me, and I've always felt this way. I feel like Rachel hates Ariana. I'm not talking about because I'm not talking about, Tom and all that. I just mean in general, she just has a disdain for Ariana. After everything you did to this woman, and I know how I feel about Ariana in different situations, but in this particular situation, looking at it in context, after everything you've done to Ariana, on top of that, you want to sue her? What planet are you living on? And also, you are now a known liar. Because remember on Rachel's podcast, remember when she was lying, in my opinion, and being like, no, Ariana knew me and Tom were hooking up. She knew we were hooking up, and they wanted to keep it a secret so they could have a storyline for next season. Well, you can't have it both ways. And again, Ariana's lawyers, if you're listening, take notes. Go and scrub Rachel's podcast for every single time she claims that Ariana knew that her and Tom were having an affair, because you can't have it both ways. You can't sue Ariana and say that she found this video on his phone, and because she was so angry at you for having sex with her boyfriend, she distributed it to everybody. But then also say, no, Ariana knew, she was in on it. They just wanted to keep it a secret. They used me for a storyline for the upcoming season because Vanderpump Rules is going to be canceled. So if Ariana knew you were having sex with her boyfriend, why would seeing a video of you in a sexual act on his phone enrage her so much, take her by such surprise and anger, that she's then going to distribute the video out of anger and vengeance? Doesn't make any sense. Because she said on her podcast, yeah, Ariana saw me and Tom being touchy or something, and she's like, you guys stop, people are gonna notice and say something. Save it for the show. Which one is it, Rachel? Did Ariana know you were having sex with Tom and they wanted to save it for a storyline? Or when she saw you doing a sexual act on his phone, she was so distraught and in shock, which any normal person would be, she felt compelled to distribute it. Because you can't have it both ways. You can't. And either way you slice it, you're a weirdo, Rachel. Like, stop it. Go find another gig. Go find another hook. Go find another thing. This is too much. And it's really, really creepy. Okay, let's keep going. Rachel's attorneys, Brian Friedman and Mark Gargaros, reacted to Ariana's claims in a statement via People. The only thing more laughable than Ariana's motion is her fairy tale account of how she discovered the relationship from Tom's phone. Meanwhile, we look forward to cross-examining her on her declaration as we have irrefutable evidence that the videos were distributed. Their statement went on. Lastly, the forensic expert states that the video is not now on Ariana's phone well after the events in question with months of notice that her actions had put her in legal jeopardy. This is a bunch of hogwash. Like, leave Ariana alone. You know, I have my feelings on Ariana's likability and all of that stuff. But leave Ariana alone, Rachel. Like, what else do you want to take from this woman? Was having sex with her boyfriend, whether or not you respected her relationship, does not negate from the fact that she was in one. And whether or not you respected her relationship, you pretended to be this woman's friend, playing in her face, all the while having sex in her home with her boyfriend. And I know that Ariana has had brand deals and she's had money and she has a boyfriend and she's, her star is rising and all of that stuff. I totally get it. And that's great for her. Girl, go get your bag, everything else. It still doesn't take away from what Rachel did to her. What else do you want, Rachel? You want her to pay you? You want her to go to jail? What do you want? What else do you want from her? This is some real psycho, sick, single white female, I want to wear your skin psycho stuff. Like, why are you trying to get back at Ariana when you were the one who was pretending to be her friend? When you were the one who was lying to her face? When you were the one who was having sex with her boyfriend in her house? But somehow you think she needs to pay you? And stop with this whole revenge porn nonsense. Where is the video? It's not online. It's not distributed. Stop with the nonsense. This is a nonsense lawsuit. Now, if she wants to go and talk to Tom about him taking it without her consent, knock yourself out. I personally wouldn't sue someone in this situation for that. If he posted it online, if he sent it to friends, if something like that, yes. But I think with what happened, how this went down, I wouldn't sue him over that. That's just me. She's allowed to do whatever she wants when it comes to that, obviously. But I don't know. I personally wouldn't sue over that. I would block the person, never talk to them again, cut them off out of my life. But to be honest with you, if it is true that he took the video without her consent, she knew that and she still wanted to be with him. She still said, I love you. She still wanted to see where things could go with them. So you weren't actually mad that he took the video without your consent. You're only mad now because things didn't work out the way you thought they were. If Bravo was paying you what you asked for and brought you back to the show with a big paycheck, would you be suing Tom? Would you be suing Ariana? I think that those are big fat no's. So are you suing on principle and integrity, or are you suing because it's Mad Day and you're pissed off because you didn't get what you wanted? Playing with our judicial system, which is already broken enough and messed up enough and biased enough and corrupt enough, out here playing with people. It's ridiculous. All right, back to single white female. Okay. On her Rachel Goes Rogue podcast, the star addressed an allegation that she stole Ariana's shirt and wore it at Stagecoach to cause a stir. Apparently, we have the same shirt, and I bought that shirt at Urban Outfitters, said Rachel via Breaking the Rules podcast on Instagram. It just matched my jeans perfectly. I needed something that was form fitting and showed the embroidery on my pants because they were like very beautifully embroidered with a cactus scenery, a desert scene, and a moon. Surprised it wasn't a lightning bolt, you weirdo. I needed to show that off, and so a crop top would be ideal, but also I didn't want my stomach showing, so it was the perfect length and the perfect color, she continued. So it's something that I already owned. She denied that she, quote, stole it from Ariana. I purchased it and I didn't even remember seeing her wearing that on the show, said Rachel. Girl, stop lying. Stop lying. And as you can see, it is Rachel wearing the same exact shirt that Ariana wore. Girl, you're lying. I don't know if you stole it from Ariana, but you damn knew she was wearing it. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Like, Rachel, you need to go back into a different facility because the first one didn't do the job. You're out here acting like you are being an advocate. You're acting here like you're on your mental health healing journey, but yet you are weaponizing our judicial system because you're on your get back. You're basically being a whiny brat. I didn't get what I wanted, so I'm going to sue everybody. Wah, 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 wah. And then you're out here still with your single white female stalker situation, wearing, matchy outfits with the woman that you pretended to be friends with, lied in her face, and screwed her boyfriend behind her back in her own home for months. And then on top of that, you have the audacity to sue this woman. Ridiculous and crazy and cuckoo for frickin' Cocoa Puffs. Somebody needs to do a wellness check. This is bizarre. This is crazy. Bizarre and crazy. It's cuckoo. Like, it's cuckoo. Like, Ariana, watch your back. You might have her, like, I don't know, like smelling your chest while you're sleeping and she's going to want to like jump inside you. Like, this is bizarre to me. If I was Ariana, I'd get a restraining order. Like, this is too much. Like, what did Ariana ever do to you, Rachel? I'll wait. You're actually one of the only people on the show, other than the guys, that Ariana was ever actually nice to. To be perfectly honest, you, as a female, Ariana's not really nice to other females. Let's call a thing a thing. She's only nice to Katie now because they have to be, because it's like they have to be allies at this point. Ariana doesn't have anybody else and something about her. But prior to that, what female was Ariana ever nice to? Other than Rachel. Girl. Yikes. I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Do you think Rachel is only suing because she's on her get back? Again, that's what I think. I think if Bravo would have paid her and she would have came back to the show, it never would have even crossed her mind to sue them because she knew Tom allegedly took the video without consent. It didn't seem like he was showing it to people. It seemed like he was using it for like his own personal, enjoyment or whatever you want to call it. Again, that's not right. You need consent before you do that. Obviously, I'm not saying that's right. But it doesn't seem like she really cared. She only cares now because things didn't work out how she thought that they were going to work out. And to me, just out of principle, out of morals, out of just human decency, if I had pretended to be somebody's friend and screwed their boyfriend in their house, the last thing I would do would sue them. But again, I wouldn't do that crap in the first place. Yikes. So I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below and about everything going on. And also, what do you guys think about Vanderpump Rules going on pause? They're taking a hiatus. They will not be filming this summer. To be honest with you, the majority of the cast will be filming The Valley instead. And I think that's a pretty good idea. And is anybody listening to Rachel Goes Rogue? I'm not listening. I just get the clips that show up on my feed, and then I bring it all the mess to y'all. So as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and put it down below and let me know what you guys think. So with that,